Imagine holding a small piece of history in your hands, something that looks like an ordinary coin but carries within it a story, a legacy, and an unbelievable fortune. And that is exactly the case with the Washington $quarter Fort Moultrie, South Carolina 2016 PRS USA coin. A coin whose face value is just 25 cents but whose real worth in the world of collectors and rare numismatics has skyrocketed to an astonishing $9 million. And the reason why this particular coin has become the stuff of legends is not just because of its limited mintage or the fact that it belongs to the America the Beautiful Quarters program, but because of the historical significance, the craftsmanship, the minting variations, and the passion that coin collectors all over the globe have for unique pieces that stand out in a sea of ordinary currency. For Fort Moultrie itself is no ordinary place in American history. It is a symbol of resilience, strength, and the birth of freedom, where brave patriots once stood firm in defense of their land during the Revolutionary War, and having that iconic fortress immortalized on a coin is already special enough, but when you combine that with the mint mark P indicating it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and the additional RS designation connected to certain rare strike anomalies or special releases, you begin to understand why this coin is more than just pocket change. It is a treasure that speaks of heritage and value far beyond its metal composition. And as collectors search tirelessly through their spare change and inherited jars of coins hoping to stumble across one of these hidden gems, stories circulate of people who unknowingly held on to one of these quarters only to later realize they were sitting on a life-changing fortune. And that is the magic of numismatics, where every detail matters, from the way the design was struck, the condition of the coin, whether it has a sharp strike or a weak strike, whether there are double die errors visible in the inscriptions or the date, whether a planchet flaw makes it unique, or whether the coin was part of a special limited batch that never entered wide circulation. All of these possibilities make the Fort Moultrie 2016 PRS $quarter an irresistible pursuit for collectors. And when experts appraise its value, they look not only at rarity but also at historical resonance. Because this is not just a quarter from 2016, it is part of a greater narrative of the United States celebrating its landmarks, its history, and its heroes, and Fort Moultrie as a design reminds Americans and history lovers alike of the first decisive victory over the British Navy during the Revolutionary War, when cannonballs bounced off the palmetto log walls of the fort, turning it into a symbol of resilience and defiance. And when you realize that this story is etched into the metal of a coin, you begin to understand the emotional connection collectors feel, and how that connection drives demand to such astronomical levels that one of these coins can be worth millions. And what makes it even more thrilling is that ordinary people might have come across one without knowing, tucked away in wallets, coin rolls, or forgotten collections, and every day someone somewhere is checking their change with the hope that the next coin they find might be the elusive Fort Moultrie quarter worth $9 million. And if you think about it, this is the allure of coin collecting itself. The dream that something so small and unassuming can carry such immense value, turning regular people into millionaires overnight if luck and knowledge are on their side. And so the Washington $quarter Fort Moultrie 2016 PRS coin has carved a permanent place in the world of rare currency, not just for its financial worth but for its ability to inspire excitement, curiosity, and a passion for history among people young and old, making it more than just money but a piece of living heritage that connects the present to the past and teaches us that treasures still exist in the most unexpected places. So keep looking closely at your change, because you never know when fortune might find you. And if you enjoyed discovering the fascinating story of this coin, then make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more incredible stories of rare and valuable coins, and stay tuned for more amazing journeys into the world of numismatics, where history and big money come together in ways you never imagine. And the deeper we dive into the story of the Washington $quarter Fort Moultrie, South Carolina 2016 PRS, the more layers of fascination begin to unfold. Because while at first glance it might seem like just another quarter from your pocket change, numismatists and collectors know that the difference between a common quarter and a multi-million-dollar treasure lies in the tiniest of details. The subtleties of the strike, the condition of the surfaces, the presence of mint errors, and the overall historical and emotional weight carried by the coin. And with the Fort Moultrie quarter, the first layer of its appeal comes from its inclusion in the America the Beautiful series, which was a 56-coin program launched by the United States Mint to honor national parks and historic sites, each design being carefully crafted to reflect the pride of the state and the history behind it. And South Carolina's Fort Moultrie design immediately captured attention with its depiction of Sergeant William Jasper heroically returning the regimental flag under heavy enemy fire, a scene that brings to life the bravery of the Revolutionary War and the significance of Fort Moultrie in defending American independence. And when a coin captures not just an image but a story, it becomes art in your pocket. But what makes the Fort Moultrie 2016 PRS coin truly extraordinary is the possibility of rare strikes, errors, and variations that set apart only a handful of pieces from the millions that were minted. And this is where fortune lies, because one might hold an ordinary Fort Moultrie quarter worth its face value, but another person might stumble upon the rare RS variation that transforms a simple quarter into a multimillion-dollar asset. And when experts and grading companies examine these coins, they are searching for doubling in the inscriptions, unusual die rotations, off-center strikes, planchet flaws, and any anomalies that make the coin unique. And the rarest of these variations have been appraised and sold for millions, bringing us back to the unbelievable figure of $9 million for one quarter, a sum that seems almost impossible until you realize the depth of the collecting world where rarity and demand drive prices into the stratosphere. And it is not just about the physical condition either, though a coin graded MS-70 in pristine mint state certainly commands more value, but also about the narrative that surrounds it, the story of Fort Moultrie. The symbolic bravery etched into its design, and the mystery of how only a handful of these rare coins found their way into circulation while the rest remained hidden or were melted down. And every time a new collector enters the world of numismatics, they bring fresh eyes and fresh excitement, raising demand and value further, creating an endless cycle where stories like the $9 million quarter live on, inspiring others to check their coins more carefully, to save quarters that might otherwise have been spent, and to dream of the day they, too, might discover a life-changing treasure hiding in plain sight. And this is why the Fort Moultrie quarter has become more than a coin. It has become a symbol of hope, a story that captures the imagination of millions who dare to believe that something so small can hold such great fortune. And as time passes, the rarity only increases because coins are lost, damaged, or spent, making the surviving few even more precious. So the longer you wait, the higher the potential value climbs, which is why serious collectors guard their Fort Moultrie quarters with pride, knowing they hold not just silver and copper but a tangible piece of history and an investment that will only grow with time. And that is why this Washington quarter dollar from 2016 has etched itself into the legends of numismatics, standing side by side with the rarest coins in American history, forever reminding us that treasures can still be found in everyday places, and that history, courage, and fortune can all fit within the palm of your hand. Imagine for a moment that you are holding a coin so ordinary in appearance that most people would pass it off without a second glance, yet hidden within this small piece of metal lies a secret so powerful that it could change your life forever. Because what looks like a simple Washington quarter dollar is actually one of the rarest and most valuable coins in existence. The 2018 D Washington quarter from Rhode Island featuring Block Island with the special CTC designation, a coin whose face value is a mere 25 cents but whose true worth has been appraised at a staggering $7 million, making it one of the most sought-after treasures in numismatic history. And this is where the magic begins, because the story of this coin is not just about its monetary value but about its unique design, historical background, minting anomalies, and the emotional pull that drives collectors around the world to search tirelessly through their change hoping to stumble upon one of these hidden gems. And when we talk about the Block Island quarter, we are talking about a design that comes from the America the Beautiful program, a legendary series of 56 quarters struck between 2010 and 2021 that celebrated national parks and historic sites. And in 2018, Rhode Island had the honor of being represented by Block Island National Wildlife Refuge, one of the most pristine and ecologically rich habitats on the Atlantic coast, and the quarter depicts a striking image of a black-crowned night heron flying gracefully over the island's shoreline with the North Lighthouse in the background, a design that captures the beauty, serenity, and natural heritage of Rhode Island. And while millions of these quarters were minted for circulation, only a very select few struck at the Denver Mint with the CTC classification became extraordinary rarities, and this is where collectors' hearts race, because the CTC marking is linked to a rare production anomaly or special control test coin status that makes the coin almost impossible to find, and when rarity intersects with beauty and historical significance, the result is astronomical value, which is why this particular Block Island quarter has been valued at $7 million, because numismatics is not just about metal but about rarity, story, and demand. And what collectors know is that even though the quarter series produced hundreds of millions of coins, the rarest versions are buried within them like hidden diamonds waiting to be discovered, and stories already circulate of people who unknowingly had one of these coins in a pocket jar, only to realize later that it was worth more than their house, their car, and everything they owned combined. And that is the thrilling allure of coin collecting, the possibility that life-changing fortune could be hiding in plain sight, in your wallet, in your spare change, or in an old drawer passed down from a family member. And the Block Island quarter embodies that dream better than most, because not only is it rare, but its design resonates deeply with collectors who value the celebration of America's natural landscapes and the artistry of coinage itself. And when professional grading services like PCGS or NGC evaluate these coins, they look for condition, strike quality, and anomalies. Because the finest examples in mint state or proof-like condition can multiply their already staggering worth, and when one of these $7 million Block Island quarters surfaces, it becomes the centerpiece of auctions, news stories, and legends, fueling even greater interest in the search. And that excitement spreads because it means that every quarter someone finds could potentially be a hidden treasure, which is why people all over the world are examining their coins more closely than ever before, hoping to find the elusive Washington $quarter Rhode Island Block Island 2018 D CTC. And what makes it even more fascinating is that the passage of time only increases rarity, because coins get lost, damaged, or melted down, leaving fewer survivors and driving up demand for the ones that remain, making them not just valuable today but potentially priceless in the future. And so this coin is not just money, it is an investment, a piece of history, a work of art, and a key to financial freedom for those lucky enough to find it. And that is why the Block Island quarter has achieved viral fame in the numismatic community and beyond, because it symbolizes hope, luck, and the possibility of turning everyday change into unimaginable fortune. And if you are holding on to coins right now, take a closer look, because you never know if you are sitting on the key to $7 million. And if you enjoyed exploring the incredible story of this rare treasure, then don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories of coins worth big money, and stay tuned as we continue to uncover more hidden gems in the fascinating world of numismatics, where history and fortune come together in ways you never imagined. The deeper you go into the journey of the Washington $quarter Rhode Island Block Island 2018 D CTC, the more layers of fascination you uncover, because this coin does not only symbolize money but also history, artistry, and the thrill of discovery. And the longer collectors and treasure hunters talk about it, the more legendary it becomes. Because when the America the Beautiful program was first announced, many thought it was just another government-issued series with attractive designs. But no one imagined that within those millions of circulating coins some extremely rare anomalies would emerge that would turn a single quarter into a multi-million-dollar artifact. And the Block Island design quickly stood out not just for its natural beauty but for the way it immortalized the unique landscape of Rhode Island, which for centuries has been a sanctuary for both wildlife and people. And to think that a single image of a bird gliding across the sky, with a lighthouse standing tall as a guardian of the shore, could be captured forever in metal and then elevated into the realm of priceless treasures is something that makes collectors emotional, because numismatics is not simply about ownership, it is about being part of a larger story that connects generations and tells the tale of a nation through its coins. And the Block Island 2018 D CTC quarter is one of those coins that transcends currency, because when a coin is struck with a unique variation, whether intentional or by accident, it suddenly shifts from being just money to becoming a once-in-a-lifetime collectible, and that is where fortune is made, because only a handful of these rare test strike variations survived, and those who have them now hold a piece of metal worth $7 million. And the thought that you or I could find one sitting in spare change creates a kind of excitement that keeps people searching, checking their coins daily, and diving deep into rolls of quarters from banks, because the dream of discovery drives the human spirit, and in the world of coin collecting this dream is magnified, for every ordinary-looking coin could hide a secret, and every secret could be worth millions, and the Block Island quarter embodies that possibility perfectly, because although countless versions of this design exist in circulation, only the Denver minted variation with its CTC classification tied to a rare production anomaly carries the jaw-dropping valuation of $7 million. And when such coins surface, they shake the foundations of the numismatic market, because wealthy collectors and investors are willing to bid extraordinary sums just to secure ownership of something that almost no one else can possess. And that exclusivity is what drives the astronomical prices, because in the world of high-value collecting, rarity is king, and stories of patriotic or natural significance add even more weight to a coin's prestige, and with time this particular quarter's fame will only grow, because the number of surviving specimens will inevitably shrink while the hunger to own one will continue to rise, making today's $7 million price tag potentially seem small in the future. And that is why collectors treat every Block Island quarter with caution, carefully examining the mint marks, the strike, the condition, and any unique features that may hint at it being the rare treasure they have been seeking. And this search itself has gone viral, inspiring millions across the world to look more closely at their change, to learn more about history through coins, and to participate in the age-old thrill of treasure hunting where luck, knowledge, and persistence all come together. And so the Block Island 2018 D CTC quarter does not just sit in a holder or a display case, it lives in the imagination of countless people, fueling their passion, their curiosity, and their hope, proving once again that something as simple as a 25-cent coin can hold power greater than gold. And if you are fascinated by the incredible story of coins like this one, and want to discover more hidden treasures that could be sitting right in your pocket, then make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more jaw-dropping coin stories, and stay tuned for even more amazing journeys into the world of rare numismatics where every coin tells a story and some stories are worth millions.